Morning, it's December 2nd. There's a squirrel in my yard. Ooh, kind of a gray day. Not doing anything too exciting. I'm just going to walk over into Lakeview and get in my kilometers. Hopefully the sidewalks aren't too bad. It might start snowing. It's supposed to snow. Haven't seen it yet, but it's supposed to be snow showers, whatever that means. Wet snow, I guess. I finished all my work yesterday that I wanted to get done, so that's great. And don't have anything terribly pressing to do today, so it's a bit of a relaxed day. Worked on cleaning my office. That's something that's been needed to be done for a long time. As I move towards doing more publishing and writing stuff that I've got on the agenda, but today, well, I'm walking, then I'll have lunch, and I'll probably, I don't know, go back to cleaning the office maybe, tidying the office. Got the desk cleared off, which makes all the difference. It's just below freezing right now, or right at freezing, one or the other, hard to say. So we got to get across the creek first, as we always do. The question is always, which way shall we walk today? I also did some work while I was cleaning the office. I was listening to this weekend's podcast to see if there's anything that needed to be cleaned up, because I couldn't remember. It's with James Kennedy, who's was very interesting to talk to, and that'll go live Sunday. Last night we bought a Christmas tree, but for whatever reason, while we've normally had it delivered within a couple of days, can't deliver it till the 11th. So I'm looking for a truck, and I may have one lined up so we can go get it ourselves. I just don't think it would fit in the car comfortably. So I think I've got one lined up. Might pick it up on Saturday, then we can get it decorated a little sooner. Freak out the cat. Well, not really. He likes it. Once it's up, he likes to lie under it, like hiding under the bushes. Very natural thing for a cat to do. But since he's an indoor cat, he doesn't get to hide under the bushes very often until we get a Christmas tree. We always get a natural tree. Never had not in my whole life have I had an artificial tree, except maybe, well, my parents sort of did, because they quit putting one up, but they had this little ceramic one that lit up, so served the purpose. I will still have to be careful of my footing, because there's a skin of water. There's not a lot of ice around on the sidewalks after the melting, but there is some still, or because of the melting in some cases. And I don't want to repeat the fall of November 11th. Remembrance Day. I took a fall. I'll remember that Remembrance Day, because I'm still got a spot that's still sore, pulled something. And I don't notice it during the day, but whatever it is, the only time it really hurts is when I roll over in bed at night. Something about that twisting motion activates it. During the day, I don't notice it at all. That's very weird, when lying in bed is more uncomfortable than being up, but I seem to be at that point in my life. By morning, every time I'm ready to get up, because I'm not really that comfortable in bed. Don't usually go up here, so this is we have, but this is kind of a less usual path to the dike. So far, I don't believe anybody has reacted to the fact I am live on YouTube, live from Regina. It's Walking the Streets with Edward Willett. Oh, there's someone. Hi, Madeline in Victoria. I spoke too soon. I just said, doesn't look like anybody's there. And there you are. That looks icy. Been in this house. It's an interesting house. I think it's probably 50s. I was on the Davin School home tour a few years ago. Don't know if the same people live there or not. All right. Cautiously, I will shuffle across the ice to the steps, which at least are clear. And, yay, up the steps under the dike, which may also be icy. I was kind of hoping it had melted off more than this, but nope, it's still a little on the slippery side. I will go over where she was because there's a little less ice on this side. Jogging on these conditions always looks terribly dangerous to me. I find walking slippery enough. That's more like what I was hoping up here after the last few warm days. You see, even though it's been above freezing for several days, it doesn't manage to melt at night, and the sun is so low during the day. The creek is thoroughly frozen still. And this is kind of the end of it. Long range forecast, at least, it cools off to below freezing for the foreseeable 2 weeks. And quite likely beyond that, although we always get some thawing days. Even in January, sometimes you can get a thaw, or Chinook will blow in from Calgary. Right, well, we'll stop for our traditional. Very gray today, though. Not particularly pretty. Looking west along the thoroughly frozen creek, thoroughly modern Millie, thoroughly frozen Wascana. Right. Just going to cross here. I'm just going to walk south along Cameron, I guess, as far as I can. Not as far as I can, as far as I could. I suppose be the South Pole. I'm not planning to hit that far today. I even need to press crosswalk light. No, I don't. There ain't nobody coming. Well, I am going to cross to the other sidewalk. It looks a little less icy, as far as I can see, for quite a ways here. Oh yeah, not bad at all on this side. Some sort of work going on up there. This will take us by Lakeview United, by Lakeview United, although it's another block over, but by Lakeview School, which is one of the older schools in the neighborhood. Probably want to cross again. I don't know what this guy's doing. Getting stuff out of a truck, it looks like. And the little houses along here. And some new ones, which are always bigger. There's some older ones that have been refurbished, and some bigger older ones, so it's a mixture. It's a pile of rocks. And something in the backyard, looks like. Oh. This is a good sidewalk. So again, new house, old house, bigger house, littler house. Two new ones over there, which I've walked by many times. One has been for sale, and I don't think it is anymore. Nope. That one was for sale, but it's obviously been bought because the sale sign is gone. That one's having some work done. There's Lakeview School over there. Built about 19 something, 14 or something like that. At least the old part of it. It has some newer additions, but I've often walked by it, but I won't do that on a school day. I don't want to freak anybody out. Hello, RB. There's quite a few Christmas decoration walks some night. More than one, probably. But we haven't even put ours up yet, so I'll probably do that. Might do that today or tomorrow. I thought I might get to walk in the snow. They had said it would start about 10:30, but here I am and it's not snowing yet. Not even a little bit. That was a phone call, but I never take them. They really could mess up the recording for some reason. It gets out of sync. At least it has in the past with like the voice will get out of sync with the images, which is kind of annoying. Anyway, just because you have a cell phone doesn't mean you have to be available all the time. I remember days past when there was no way to get hold of somebody if they weren't home and the phone rang, then that was it. Couldn't even leave a message. Answering machines were not all that widespread. When I was a kid, nobody had them. I remember getting my first one. It was kind of that I actually had one. Okay, this house was been under construction all along here. It's getting close. Looks like. I think they might even be living in it, although it's not quite finished on the outside. There's Lakeview United Church is down there. Down there. We used to rehearse there all the time, but for the show that just ended, the Lyric Singers production of Guilty Pleasures, we actually rehearsed in the Union Hall. It had a very nice downstairs that suited us well. There's lots of Tyvek rap going on around here. Trampoline in the back there. Always loved that when I was a kid. Haven't been on one for a while. Sidewalk is pretty clear, but the cross paths where the alleys come out are not, and very slippery. More new houses next to an old one. Much bigger, older one, which I like the looks of. Brand new one over there with the orange door. New ones over here. Looking. Oh, this one has like the curved glass bricks there. One of the nicest things we did in the condo we bought when we first got married was replace the solid pony wall with the one made out of glass bricks, which really helps open up the space and This makes it more interesting. Hello, Miriam in India. Slightly different time again for me. My timing is all over the place for these walks, and will probably continue to be so. Sometimes I just don't want to walk in the dark, which is what it's starting to mean now if I walk first thing. The window of available daylight is getting shorter and shorter, and will for another 3 weeks, almost. Lots of ice here. Made it. Just walking south in Lakeview today. And then I'll turn around and walk north again on a different street. It's always slower because of the careful picking through the ice like I was just doing there. Hi, Renew. Right around freezing, if you're wondering. It's not very cold by our standards. Above normal for this time of year. Cools off after today, sort of more what they call seasonable. Rather unfriendly fence, these always look so, don't want you to know what we're doing in here. I guess technically that's their backyard though, so that's, I was about to say that I preferred it when you don't have fences in your front yard, but both of these are backyard fences. Bigger house over there, and that's a newer one there, I think. All right, this will take us by a school, or at least to an alley behind a school. So, do I go up to the alley, or do I go on down that way, or this way? Go this way. Not sure that's a newer one or an older one. Maybe I'll go in the alley. Can't walk through the schoolyard, but the alley is particularly safe looking footing wise, as you can see. Actually, it's a church first, and then it's a school. So maybe I can walk through the church yard. Not technically walk through the schoolyard. It's kind of a road, so I'll take the road here. This is a Catholic church because that's a separate school next to it. And the building on this end is their kind of community center, parish center, it says. Interestingly enough, they appear to have spelled center the American way, E-R-R-E. Interesting choice. Parking lot's nice and unmelted, or melted, not unmelted. So good footing. I won't walk through the schoolyard though. It is a school day. The pylons presumably mark the demarcation between the church and the school. I don't know. Maybe buses drive through there or something, so they don't want people parking over there. Whenever you have a Catholic school, there's always a Catholic church pretty much next door. There's the front of the church, in case you're wondering. All right, now we'll carry on southish. The road curves. Past the school on the sidewalk, I don't mind. Reasonably clear sidewalk. There's the school, École St. Pius X. Of course, in Latin it'd be Pius. You know. Playground fundraiser on now. Some older apartment buildings over here. Very handy to the school. I have walked down there. I remember that circle in the wall there back when it was summertime and there was no school. I'm going to walk on the road and avoid this. John Deere tractor sitting there. In school zone, I can now increase my speed to more than 30 kilometers an hour. Westgate Avenue. You know, maybe what I'll do is, if I go down Westgate, I'll come to the park over there, which might be more interesting than just walking through the residential area. So what I'll do then, check out the new school they're building over there, which should be just about the right amount of time to turn around and head back again. Soup ferment. Sweet ferment, I should say, not suit ferment. It's not a tuxedo place. Nice and clear. Just a couple of weeks. My daughter will be home from 2 weeks from Sunday, I guess. Or Monday. She'll come home from university, which will be nice, for 3 weeks for Christmas. Maybe the cat will quit sleeping on our bed and sleep on her bed. I don't mind him there most of the time, but every once in a while, you feel bad moving if there's a cat on you. I don't know how they exert that force, but they do. Like when I can't roll over, the cat's on my feet. He's a cat. He'll move. Or, he also pins down the covers, so you can't adjust the covers. He weighs about 15 pounds, so he's a significant paperweight, or blanket weight. Good morning, Kirk in Vancouver. But when Alice is home, he tends to sleep on her bed, not ours, so that'll probably happen again. Or he sleeps somewhere else. There are days, nights when he just doesn't care. He's not anywhere around all night as far as we can tell. And he's not one of these cats that runs around in the middle of the night and makes, knocks things off of countertops or goes galloping through the house. So can't really complain. Just took off my hat because I'm getting warm walking. a nice clear sidewalk along here. Have some friends, haven't seen them for a while, but lives along here. Their daughter and Alice were good friends. But of course, as kids go in different directions, those sort of elementary age friendships tend to mutate or vanish. Not vanish, perhaps, but you lose touch. I mean, I don't keep in touch with anybody I went to junior high or elementary school or barely high school. Facebook has made that easier. Most of my friends there would be high school ones and college people that we found each other on Facebook. Elementary, not so much. Here's the park I was aiming for. And they're building a brand new school down at the south end of it, so, well, that's funny. Looks like the path is actually the, oh, that's not the path. I thought I was going to say, is the path more snow covered than anything else? But no, that's just a drift. Still, I think the sidewalk with the grass is a better bet here because it's melted off with the warm weather. So good. I don't know why the audio is not very loud. Maybe there's an input setting I'm missing. I've noticed that a couple of times, and then sometimes it'll suddenly pick up again, and I don't know what makes it pick up either. I don't know if there's a problem in the cord, like if I do that, does it make any difference? It's the only thing I can think of is that it might be a cord issue. There's no volume control on the microphone. I suppose there could be one. Let's take a quick look here. Hopefully without